Hi everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live, NLP and the Coronavirus Day 7. I'm joined today by a very good friend of mine, a colleague of mine, Jessen James, the founder of the Business and Marketing School. Jessen did our practitioner training as well as a number of other trainings too. And he's a mentor and a speaker and a coach, as well as doing business and marketing trainings. And one of the reasons why Jessen and I align so well, and the reason why I've asked him to join us this evening to share his wisdom and his value to you, is that we have a very similar mindset around business, which is, it doesn't matter how many business strategies you get, if you haven't got this thing sorted, as in your emotional state, as in your beliefs, etc., then, no matter how many strategies you get, they're not going to work. And, in many fields, I hear speakers and trainers from the front of the room go that success in business, success in trading, success in property investing, success in ... is 90% mindset, 10% strategy. And then you sit there in the training and it's 90% strategy and 10% mindset. And people wonder why they don't get the results that they've invested in. And I know, because I've sat through Jessen's events and speeches, and also spoke at his events, that he has most definitely put the emphasis on the mindset first, then get the strategies. And once you've got the mindset right, you don't need very many strategies. In fact, if you got one that works and your mindset's right, you're done, right? So that's why I've invited Jessen, and he's got a really great, cool process to share with you, which is a process that he uses in his 3-day workshop. So Jessen, welcome to our NLP and Coronavirus Day 7 Facebook Live.
Thank you so much for having. It's an honor. It's always an honor to hang out with you, sir. But as you know, in this time of need, first and foremost, I want to thank you for putting these on, because it's it just shows the level of leadership that you operate from. So welcome everybody. Good evening, and thank you for tuning in. Hope you and your families are doing well during this time. So David, should I just get stuck straight into it? Should we just go straight into it? So if you've been watching these videos, and if you haven't been watching these videos, go back and watch all of David's videos, because they're bloody cool. But David's been working a lot on stabilizing your current emotional state. And I think what you need to understand with that is the foundation, the basis for absolutely everything that goes on moving forward. So, these are a series of videos I understand that David's doing, which is really cool, but I've got to stabilize first. So what I want to do with you right now is to kind of give you something that kind of follows on from David's video yesterday, which was about moving into setting outcomes and goals and things like that. And one of the things we spoke about the other day, David, on the phone, which I've been actually sharing with my audience and telling them what you told me, which is that you articulated it so wonderfully, was that the world has pressed pause on our lives, and it will press play again, right? But between now and when it presses play, what are we doing to prepare ourselves in order to move forwards? And that's the thing. There's not one person watching this video right now that can say, I don't have time.
Yes, that old excuse has gone out the window. Right?
That old chestnut's gone out the window, right? So we got to get rid of that stuff. And I actually put out a post this morning with a bit of tongue-in-cheek post, but there's lots of people out there right now who, perhaps you're watching this right now and you want to start a business. You've always wanted to start something. And we're in that classic situation where if you don't move on, life moves on you, right? And right now, life is moving on absolutely every one of us. So I put a tongue-in-cheek post out this morning, was saying that, like, if you don't come out of this isolation with a new skill, with new knowledge, and your business started, then I'm sorry, entrepreneurship isn't for you, right? Because we've got the time to do it. So what I wanted to do was kind of go through an exercise with you guys. Now you've stabilized, in order to ground yourself and get ready to flourish, because it's sad that obviously there's lots of bad stuff going on in the world right now, and I get that, and it would be ignorant of me to ignore it completely. However, you and I both know, in fact, all of you watching, I'm guessing you've heard this before, you get what you focus on. Yep. And the challenge is that we are surrounded by it, whether it's from media, whether it's your isolation buddies or whoever it is, constantly feeding you crap. So, that will just expand. So it's important now we stabilize to now ground and then, take off, as it were, and grow. So here's an exercise that I carry out with my students at the Business and Marketing School. In fact, it's slightly adapted from an exercise that one of my mentors, Matthew Kimberley, taught me some years ago. You probably know Matthew. I think you know Matthew, David, right? So he taught me this many years back, and I've always used it with my students because it's a very powerful exercise. So I'm going to talk you through this exercise now. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to do it on this, but what I will say is that when you do it after this call, it will serve you for the next 12 months and the rest of your lifetime. So let's get stuck into it. Now, there are, David, you spoke yesterday about setting outcomes. Now, there are lots of areas of our life. If you look at, for those of you who are, coaches and consultants and things like that, you would understand what we call the wheel of life, as in all the different areas of our life: health, relationships, money, career, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I like to, in NLP terms, chunk up from all of those areas of our lives into 3 areas only, and that is personal, professional, and financial. So I chunk up into all of those 3 folders, as it were. Now, what you can do, you can grab a piece of paper, just like I have done here, and you can draw 3 columns, okay? And in the left-hand column, there's now, which is today, clearly. And then on the right-hand, there's 12 months, okay? Right. What you'll notice are those 3 subheadings as well in now, which is personal, professional, and financial, okay? Now, what everyone needs to do is this is a very simple exercise, is under personal, under professional, you would write an area of your personal and professional life that you would like to improve. And what does it look like right now? I.e. personal. I would like to improve my health. Great. Be specific, because specificity is key here. So I currently weigh 13 stone, whatever it is, or I'm 20% body fat, whatever it might be. Professional. This is to do with your career or your business. So I currently work in a job that I'm not happy with, or whatever it might be, or my business is currently ceased, it's stopped. What does it look like right now? Or all of my clients have stopped paying me, which is common right now. What is it? And then financial is just very, very brutal and honest.
Yep.
What are you banking each month right now? Personally, not turnover. I'm not talking about what you turn over in your business or whatever. What lands in your account after tax every single month? Yeah.
Profit.
Right. Correct. Right this very moment now. Okay. Now, those 3 areas. Now, look, if you're struggling with ideas around this, just take a moment and have a good think about like your personal life. It's usually what I usually say to people when they're stuck is like, what's the one thing in your personal life that's making you the most unhappy right now? And it's usually relationship or whatever. So they write that down. Professional as well, same thing. What's pissing you off in your business right now? Write that down. Good. Now, once you've done that on the left-hand side, over to 12 months, I want you to write the date 12 months from now. So 2021, whatever it is, at the top of the page, just there, above 12 months. Then what you're going to do is you're going to write in your personal life, what does your personal life look like now in the present tense? So I am now 13% body fat. My energy is high and I'm vibrating on a different level, whatever it is.
Present state, all that kind of stuff.
Correct. Absolutely. So again, specifically what it looks like, or me and my partner have now found a newfound love for each other, and whatever it is, but must be in a present tense because we're claiming it in the moment.
Yes.
Professional, same thing. What does a business look like now? And financial, what does your money look like right now? in 12 months time. And
12 months.
I don't like the word realistic, but I'm going to say practice some of it here. Whereas if you're currently on zero and you say, right, every month I'm going to be banking $1 million in the next 12 months, then I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying unless you've got a vehicle to take you there, then don't write that, right? But I would also argue not to play too small. So if currently, let's say you want to make $5,000 a month, I would say double that. No, I'd say push it. So we can, even if you failed, you'd still hit higher than $5,000 or whatever. So where are you, personal, professional, financial life right now? Where would you like to be in 12 months time in the present tense? Okay. Now notice the middle column's blank. Middle column blank. What do we write at the top here? At the top here, I want you to write the word barriers.
Okay.
Barriers. Yeah. So then you would list between where you are right now in your personal life and where you'd like to be. What are some of the things stopping you?
Right.
Same for professional and same for financial. Now, simple examples are, it could be don't know how, lack of resources. I'm scared. I haven't got, I haven't got enough time. Whatever, just write down anything that you could think of. Yeah, the economy, coronavirus, whatever. Write down all of the things that you believe are stopping you right here. Now, this is where I always advise my students that this exercise is a personal experience. It's not to be shared with anyone unless you want to. So here's the thing. It's time for you to get honest. Right. And be brutally honest and truthful with yourself, because no one's going to read it. And look, if you're going to lie to yourself, then you'd never make it in life.
Absolutely.
Right? So at least like like that. Everybody has a deep desire to just be free and be wild and be themselves, but they're restricted by what people think of them. Well, now's your chance to do that without having to worry about what people care. So the honesty and accountability and taking responsibility for stuff is what's going to help you with this exercise. Now, once you've listed all of the things that you can think of, procrastination, whatever, blah, 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 I'm not good enough, nobody will want to pay me, blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. I want you to go through that list and ask yourself, is it a reason or is it an excuse? That's what I want you to do, because we need to differentiate between the two here. Yeah. Clearly there are certain reasons. For example, if there are health implications that prevent you from doing a certain thing, as in physical or whatever it might be, clearly that's a reason. It's not an excuse. However, it does mean you need to get a bit more creative about your situation. Doesn't mean give up. But I think a lot of people are going to discover that they've been telling themselves some bullshit stories. Like, don't have enough money. You never need more money, my friend. You need a new strategy. It's never about needing new money, right? Don't know how. Really? You don't know how? Go and find out. Don't have enough resources. Get resourceful. Like this, there's always a way out, is what I'm saying. So be honest with yourself. Start crossing off all the ones that you know are BS. They're not true. And then obviously, if there's still some niggly ones, which I believe would pop up in the form of limiting beliefs, as in I'm not good enough. And my definition of a limiting belief is something that you hold to be true that limits your potential. That's the way I look at things. And I'm not good enough. People won't pay me what I'm worth. Nobody would like me if I start trying to sell to them right now, especially now. This is a good one I get from my clients at the moment. They're like, Jess, like, should we be selling to people right now? And I'm like, well, does the supermarket ask that bloody question? Yeah, quite. Right? It's as long as you're offering something to somebody that's deemed necessary, i.e., especially if you're a coach, consultant, or you have advice right now to share with someone that is going to dramatically improve their lives for when the world presses play again, you should do whatever you can to offer that to somebody right now, because they do need it, right? So get all that crap out of your head. And if it still pops up, I do believe, David, we briefly spoke about this earlier, that you are going to be sharing some stuff this week, which you'll obviously explain in a moment, that will help them with that belief. But what I'm saying is this is a great starting point for you right now, especially if you're feeling lost. And like you and I jumped on this call, I didn't even know what bloody day it was. And I don't know what day it is anymore, right? Yeah, we've lost all concepts of that. So if you want to gain a bit more structure in your life right now, and have something tangible to work towards, then this is a great exercise. And I always say, you know, just keep it simple. Set one thing, not loads of things. Like what's the one thing, what's the domino? What's the one domino that we can bang, knock over that will make everything else wonderful in our lives? So pick those things. So that's my advice for everyone watching this right now. So if there's anything else, David, please direct me and I will serve. But I hope that was valuable for everyone watching.
No, I think that was really great. The other thing I just wanted to, because we were talking about before we came on, and I think this is an important thing to share, which is, why you chose a year's time rather than 5 years time or 10 years time. I think you made a really important point there. So.
Thank you. Yes, we did. And yes, what I mean by why have I focused on the next 12 months? Because I see a lot of people telling you to have your 5-year game plan, your 10-year game plan, and all that kind of stuff. Which there is some context to that. However, let's be honest. If you're watching this right now, I want you to go back 5 years in your life and ask yourself: did you ever imagine you'd be where you are right now? Did you imagine we'd be sitting here in this coronavirus isolation? Like, nobody freaking knows.
Back 5 weeks.
That is true.
Would we imagine that we'd be sitting in this situation right now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what does that tell you? What does that presuppose? It presupposes that planning for 5 years means absolutely nothing, because we could get run over tomorrow. Who knows what happens, right?
Yep.
So I believe whilst you should have a vision, an overarching vision of where you'd like to be in life, because it's, life's a journey, it's not a destination. Like, where would you like to be overall? That's great. But I genuinely believe if you take care of the next 12 months, the next 5 years, the next 10 years will take care of themselves, because it knock on. Yeah. So that's why I've said focus on 12 months.
Brilliant. No, thanks for sharing that. I thought it was a really, really good point. And an even more important point, I think, right now than it was like at the beginning of the year. Is that, let's get through this and get out the other side of this in good shape.
100%.
Before we start, growing any further than that.
And that's it. And that's part of the, for some people, maybe they need to work on stabilizing as much as they can during this time and preparing to grow, which is doing the groundwork. And then once this is all over, because this too shall pass, right? It's not going to last. Maybe then you will grow. But for the more ambitious ones, like a lot of my clients right now are have stabilized, have grounded, and are growing. Like some of my businesses are growing. We're still making sales. We're still, it's all working. So what I'm saying is that if you're more ambitious, you can ground and grow during this period. But for those of you whose circumstances don't allow you to do that, then please ground yourself now. Because we are going to press play, like you said, and you need to grow then.
No, absolutely brilliant. So that's a fantastic process, Jessen. That really fits in with the whole theme that we've been going through. And as Jessen mentioned there, do that process and then over the next 24 hours. Because on Saturdays live, what I'm going to do is take you through a process that once you've identified the limiting beliefs, I'm going to take you through a process which I call the belief buster questions, which will actually have you be able to bust open those limiting beliefs so they're no longer there, which essentially, as Jessen mentions, the barriers will be gone, which means then you can get on with taking the action to make, what's the date today? It's I think it's 4th of April, is it?
4th of April, yeah.
4th of April. So, it means you can start working right away to begin creating where you're going to be on the 4th of April, 2021.
Absolutely.
Which is, as I mentioned, totally agree with what Jessen's saying about being realistic and exciting.
Mm.
You know, that's because a lot of people that, you know, they think that if they put boring goals out in their future, their life's going to be exciting. Well, no, your life's going to be boring. So if you want your life to be exciting after all of this, you want to get excited about your life in the future now, you've got to start putting some exciting things out there. Yeah. So that's going to be tomorrow's Facebook Live. So I'd just like to thank again, Jessen, thanks very much for
Thank you.
joining us
Pleasure.
here in that wonderful process. And as a usual kind of like parting, wherever you are in the world, love you lots, and we hope.